Joining us now is one of those organizers with the official United States Convoy, the People's Convoy. You can find them online at thepeoplesconvoy.org. MAUREEN STEELE, who is literally on the road right now. MAUREEN, thanks so much for joining us.
Hi there. Yeah, I'm driving around the parking lot as the convoy is trying to roll out here, talking to you live. It's really exciting. It's just a tremendous turnout of, the American people. Absolutely unreal. Just hundreds and hundreds of people, hundreds and hundreds of flags, every creed, color, and nationality. What a slice of Americana. And the generosity of American people is absolutely overwhelming.
And one of the things that, and I'm very competitive with other countries, MAUREEN, so I know that there was a 45-mile convoy up in Canada. Are we going to be able to beat that with the People's Convoy? That was one of the first things I was wondering.
With funding, you mean?
No, I mean 45-mile long. I think they said the one in Canada was 45 miles long. Can we? I mean, this is Can we beat that? I hope we can beat it. If not, I'm going to have to rent some trucks to join.
I hope so. Yeah, no, I hope so. I mean, we have 3 million truckers in our country.
That's a lot.
We should be able to beat that. And, our population is 12 times the size of theirs. So if we don't, that would be a disgrace.
Sounds like MAUREEN's pretty confident here that we're gonna take that 45-mile long convoy award from Canada. And I know, because I was looking on, I love that you can follow along online as well. Now I know that there are folks, a part of the People's Convoy that are going to be leaving from different parts of the country. And I was looking on the website. It looks like you're going to be arriving around the D.C. area on March 5th. And the State of the Union is, I think, on the 1st. So this is going to be after State of the Union. Mm-hmm. How long do you think how long are you planning on holding this line when you arrive there?
That I don't know. However long the truckers deem it necessary. We never had plans to go into D.C. proper. We will be in the D.C. area, but we aren't affiliated with, Bob Bolas's convoy. We're not affiliated with the Freedom Convoy. We don't even know those people. We've never, we don't associate or affiliate with them. So we're the People's Convoy. We are a peaceful movement. We are about unity and love and freedom. And so I just want to make sure we differentiate ourselves, because I do believe those people are going into D.C. proper and are planning on choking the Beltway and all of that. And
that was interesting.
That's not us.
Yeah, I was curious about that. What is the reason for not going into, because I know that there was some discussion online, well, at least that I saw that was being reported on. What is the reasoning behind staying outside of the Beltway?
Well, we're not going into D.C. proper or the Beltway just because we don't want another January 6th occurrence. And, we're not looking for trouble. We're not looking to violate laws or anything like that. We're looking to exercise our freedom of speech, our right to gather, our right to send messaging to our government. Our government is by the people, for the people. And that is all we're trying to do. So I think the message is going to be loud and clear. I mean, from the turnout here this morning, Dana, it is overwhelming. The American people are ready for this. Literally, people were throwing cash at us. We just have tens of thousands of dollars in cash just from today, just people bringing us money. We have 3 tractor trailer trucks full of supplies. This is just Adelanto. This is just Barstow. I mean, we haven't even hit the other stops yet. And Americans, the hopes and dreams of every freedom-loving American rides with us right now as we roll out of this stadium, and the generosity of the American hearts in the back of these trailer trucks that are just full to bursting, with the kindness of the American heart. It is absolutely heartwarming, overwhelming. People hugging each other. It's just so beautiful. I'm sure you'll see some of the footage online tonight. It's an amazing thing. And I don't know if people remember what it felt like after 9/11, that sense of unity and love for your fellow man. Shortly after that happened.
Yeah, it's very neat to see. We're talking with MAUREEN STEELE, who's
it feels like that again.
Right, one of the official organizers with the People's Convoy. And one quick question on destination, then I want to get into motivation, because I and others, and I blame this on my producer Kane, because he was born wearing a tinfoil hat. So I'm becoming more and more. I get more and more suspicious of stuff, because you mentioned the January 6th thing, and we know that was peaceful. I don't want to say mostly. It was peaceful. You had 100,000 people there. You had some people who broke away, and they got people who broke law got prosecuted. But when I look at this, when I looked at the Freedom Convoy in Canada, when I've looked at other convoys that were related, but maybe they weren't all like affiliated, officially. It's been peaceful. I mean, y'all been making bouncy villages, like with bouncy castles, and there were soup kitchens, and that's pretty much, I mean, they all walks of life. Politics don't matter, because it is about mandates. I mean, specifically opposing government mandated injections. That's what, and from what I understand, and Maureen, correct me on this, from what, not just the one in Canada, but from the convoy that you're part of, there are a lot of truckers that are already vaccinated. Some of them got, they're double vax boosted. I don't even know what the requirement is now. They're not opposed to vaccines. They're opposed to government mandating injections. And is that still the ongoing motivation?
That was never our motivation, actually. We put out a truckers' declaration a couple of weeks ago, and that's been around the world. I was interviewed at a television station in Russia, and they had the declaration. The truckers here just want freedom. They want their liberties. They want accountability, and we want the emergency orders lifted. Once the emergency orders are lifted, the mandates are lifted,
right.
Our founding documents will no longer be trampled upon. What's giving the government the right to trample upon that is those emergency orders.
Because a lot of this is the freedom to travel too, right? And the freedom to be able to do your job, and the freedom to be able, to basically keep things stocked.
Yeah, and it's not just that. We want our country back. We want it back to business as usual. I mean, everyone is sick of the political correct police. Everyone is just sick of all of that. We just want America back to what it was. And, if we don't dial this back in now, if we don't take our freedoms back now and let the government, realize, once and for all, you work for us. We're not your serfs. We're not your servants. We're going to lose our country forever. This is our moment as a people, as the beacon of freedom for the rest of the world.
Let me ask you this.
To seize this moment.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I want to make sure that we get, because I want to talk about the convoy and make sure people are familiar with it. And folks, you can find it at thepeoplesconvoy.org, talking with Maureen STEELE, one of the organizers with that. Does it, what seems, Maureen, what's weird to me is that I remember when the lockdowns and everything first started, and I'm sure you remember the phrase, essential workers, and everyone they would go out and they would applaud, whether it was first responders or whether it was truck drivers who made sure that we had groceries on the, grocery stores had food on the shelves, that people were able to get items that they needed. And that was, in large part due to the truckers making sure that's an artery of this country, and making sure that goods could be provided. And it went from they were celebrated and applauded to then vilified, because there was questions about unscientific mandates and weird mandates that just didn't even make any logistical or scientific sense. What is sort of the feeling with the people who are part of this convoy? Like, they went from being, heralded as heroes to being somehow enemies.
Well, I have to tell you, the feeling here today is they're heralded as heroes again. And they also have the doctors from the Global COVID Summit in their corner, as well as, the U.S. Freedom Flyers, 35,000 pilots in their corner. So, but, the truckers, like you mentioned earlier, they're the backbone of our society. I mean, without them, we don't have food on our tables. We don't have clothes on our backs. But also, no one represents the blue-collar boys better than the U.S. trucker. And it's always the blue-collar boys that are first to throw their hat in the ring whenever the cry for freedom is rung. They're the first to enlist. They're the first to sacrifice the most in the name of freedom since time immemorial, and they're doing it again for us. They are the tip of the spear at winning our freedoms back, and it was amazing today to hear people screaming from the crowd, we love you. Our hope goes with you. You're going to save us. It made some of these big burly truckers nearly brought some of them to tears. Aww. To know that the hopes and dreams of so many Americans are riding with them today.
They are. Maureen STEELE, one of the official organizers with the People's Convoy. You can follow the route at thepeoplesconvoy.org. Maureen, safe travels to you. I know some parts of the country where we've got a little polar weather happening, so safe travels. Hope you arrive at your destination safely, and thanks for what you're doing. We appreciate you.
Oh, thanks for having me, Dana. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Godspeed. Thanks so much.